Good morning. This is Robin Bates, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about problem solving. But first, I want to talk to you about a mindfulness activity that you can do on your own at home. So, rather than a breathing exercise, this one involves listening to music you've never heard before. So, it's really simple. Maybe ask your parent or a friend if you can listen to a song that's like way out of the genre that you usually listen to. And then see if you can sit down the way we usually do our breathing exercises. So sit down straight, feet flat on the floor, and close your eyes. Just kind of pay attention to your breathing and then listen to the song. But really listen deeply. Listen to the notes, the rhythm, the lyrics, the texture of the singer's voice, everything, all the layers of sounds. Listen to it all the way through. And if you notice that your kind of mind drifts away, bring it gently back. Mind drifts away, bring it gently back. This is a great way to kind of let go of anything in the past or in the future and really bring yourself deeply into the moment. It's great to do if you're feeling really flooded emotionally, or maybe you've got a lot of worry or anxiety. Turn on a new piece of music, especially if it's something you don't normally listen to. Maybe it's classical, maybe it's, songs from the 60s. I don't know. But whatever it is you don't normally listen to something, because then that kind of surprises your brain, and you can't dismiss things that you normally hear. So it's new. Okay? I encourage all of you to try it. In fact, I think I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about problem solving. And I'm just going to take you through the basic steps. This is just going to be a really simple video. It's the basic steps that involve some of the things that we've learned up until now. And it kind of gives you an outline or a path of where to go when you really don't know what to do, when you're confronted with a problem. Usually it's an emotional problem. So, maybe your homework, it's hard for you to understand and you're getting really frustrated. Or maybe a friend said something that really confused you and you're not clear. Or maybe you heard a rumor that you think is not true. What do I do, right? So this is just a list of to-do to solve a problem, okay? So step number one. First, you have to ask yourself, can the problem be solved? Is this a solvable problem? Or is this something that's really out of your control? If it's out of your control, we're done. It's time to practice radical acceptance and just use your emotional regulation skills, right? And that's a lot of the tools that we've been working on up to this point, even if it's just breathing. Number two. Describe the situation to yourself or to someone else. So really lay out the facts. So describing the situation is kind of like I've talked about in the past, where you have to cut out all opinion. Cut away all opinion, anything that you're assuming, all assumptions, and just list the actual facts without any emotion, right? The same way that a scientist would. And then the third thing is you check those facts. So take each of those facts and you ask, am I interpreting this the correct way? Am I thinking in extremes? Am I making some of this up? Am I filling in the gaps of my own thoughts? What's the probability that the worst outcome is going to happen? And even if it was going to happen, can I imagine myself coping with it? And then if you're still faced with a big problem, then we continue on to step number four. Step number four, identify your goals. So identify what needs to happen in order to, or to change for you to feel okay. What needs to happen or change? What needs to change? Maybe you don't know what needs to happen, but what does it look like for the situation to be solved? And that's a big one. That sometimes takes some time to think about. And you keep it simple. Keep it something that can actually happen. So don't go all the way out into the unrealistic, right? Number 5 is the brainstorming step. So this is when you're brainstorming all kinds of solutions. And this is a great time to talk to your friends, talk to a parent, talk to a trusted adult, to just kind of go, what are all the possible solutions for this problem? Ask for suggestions. And don't be critical of any ideas at first. Okay? Let it all be a possibility. Sometimes if you're critical too soon, then you cut off a really good idea because some of your facts are skewed, or you've got an emotion around it, or you're, not quite ready to be open to all possibilities, right? So number 6, choose at least one solution that is likely to work. Okay? Doesn't mean that you're positive it's going to work, just one that's likely to work. If you're unsure, choose 2 or 3 that look good. Okay? Do the pros and cons to compare the solutions. So we've kind of done this pros and cons activity before. So weigh it all out. Choose the best to try first. And remember, that's a key thing. You're just going to try one first. You may try another one and another one, right? Just choose the one that looks the best right now based on your pros and cons and try that. Number 7, put the solution into action. So you act, try it out. Take the first step, then the second step, then the third. So take it step at a time. As you can see, this involves a lot of planning. So before you just kind of go right out there and do your first idea, you got to sit down and think about, okay, what's the first step and maybe the second step? And then you'll come up with steps from there. And number 8, evaluate each outcome. So did it work? Then you can go ahead and reward yourself, right? That's the best case scenario. It didn't work? Well, then validate yourself for trying and don't give up. So, and then you try a different solution. So you go back and try solution number 2. And if you really take an emotional problem and break it down like this, almost like a math problem, it can really cut away a lot of the big emotion and the things that are kind of getting you stuck in that all or nothing, black and white, fight or flight thinking. That is where we get trapped, right? We're trying to get out of that so that we can then create change for ourselves. And this is how you do it. So I'm going to review. First, ask yourself, can the problem be solved? Okay, hopefully you're writing these down. Ask yourself, can the problem be solved? If not, time for acceptance and just managing our emotions around it. 2, describe the problem completely. Describe the situation. 3, check all the facts. Cut away all the, assumptions, all the emotion, all the judgment. See if you can really narrow it down to, you should only just have a few words, right? Basic facts. 4, identify your goals. What is it that you want to see happen? What would it look like for you to feel a little bit better? Okay, see if you can visualize that. That takes some time in and of itself. 5, brainstorm lots of solutions. Get trusted people involved. Unless you're talking about another person that could create a rumor. So it needs to be a trusted adult, most likely. Okay. 6, choose at least one solution. So do your pros and cons, figure out what one seems to be most likely to work and choose it, or choose your top 3. Okay. 7, put one of them into action and take it step at a time. Okay. And 8, evaluate the outcome. Did it work? Great. Let's celebrate. Did it not work? Okay. Validate that you tried hard. Give yourself some credit. Go back to the drawing board and pick another solution. It's that simple. but not, right? Easier said than done, but it's a great practice. This is the reason why I tell all of you that when you're faced with a problem or you're faced with a decision that you need to make and you don't know what to do, it's always good to wait 24 hours before you take an action step. Because you've got to take all these steps and they take time. But don't hold it into yourself. Like, it always involves brainstorming with trusted adults that can help you navigate the problem. All right, so hopefully that helps. And I look forward to seeing all of you soon. Bye.